This podcast is powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you to run smart discount campaigns on your store. Test it for free on your Shopify store. Just land on the Shopify App Store now and test it for free. All right, so get ready because today we're diving deep into the Conversion Bible.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, specifically their article on Shopify CTA optimization that just came out on March 16th, 2025.
Okay.
And, as a Shopify store owner, you want those conversions to just skyrocket, right?
Absolutely.
And this article actually claims that compelling CTAs can boost those conversions by up to 22%.
Yeah, that's a big number.
It is a big number, but it's not just about, slapping a buy now button on your site and calling it a day.
Right, yeah.
There's so much more to it.
What I think is so fascinating is that this article really breaks down why some CTAs just work like magic and then others just sit there, gathering dust bunnies.
Right.
And it's about understanding what makes people click. And it turns out it's really a mix of psychology, smart design, and copywriting that's just so good. It practically hypnotizes people into buying.
Hypnotizing customers with buttons. That's some serious Jedi-level marketing.
Yeah.
But before we start wielding our CTA force powers, let's make sure we're on the same page here. What exactly is a CTA?
Sure.
And why are they so crucial for Shopify stores?
Okay. So a CTA, or call to action, is any button or link that tells your website visitor to do something specific. So think add it to cart or sign up or download now. On a Shopify store, these little guys are your sales force.
Right.
They're literally turning those casual browsers into paying customers.
So they're kind of like the digital equivalent of a charming salesperson who just gently guides you towards that moment.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. A well-crafted CTA doesn't just tell people what to do. It kind of nudges them in the right direction using psychology.
Yeah.
Think about it. Have you ever felt that little rush of urgency when you see a limited time offer or the intrigue of a Discover More button?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's the psychology of clicking in action.
Okay, I'm starting to see the power here. But if it's all about psychology, wouldn't just having a huge flashing BUYNW button solve everything?
It's funny you say that because while a sense of urgency can be effective, bombarding people with a giant in-your-face button can actually backfire.
Really?
Yeah, it's like that pushy salesperson that makes you want to run the other way.
Right.
This article really digs into finding that sweet spot between being enticing and being obnoxious.
Right, so it's about being persuasive but not pushy.
Exactly.
Got it. So the article dives into the visual design aspects of CTAs.
Uh-huh.
Is it really true that things like the color and shape of a button can actually make a difference?
Absolutely. Color psychology is a real thing. For example, think about those bright red sale signs you see everywhere. They're not red by accident.
Right.
Red grabs attention and it triggers that sense of urgency. Now imagine that same sale button in like a calming blue.
Oh, yeah.
It just wouldn't have the same impact.
So is it safe to say that if I want to emphasize urgency, I should always go for red or orange buttons? What about other colors like green or blue?
It's not always that simple. It really depends on your brand and the specific action you want visitors to take.
Okay.
For example, blue and green are often associated with trust and reliability, making them a good choice for learn more or get started buttons where you're encouraging exploration rather than an immediate purchase.
So it's about picking colors that align with both my brand and the goal of the specific CTA.
Yeah.
That makes sense. The article also talks about button size.
Uh-huh.
Is bigger always better?
To a point. You want your buttons to be noticeable, especially on mobile devices.
Right.
But a button that's too big can feel clunky and out of place. The key is finding the right balance between visibility and aesthetics.
Yeah.
And it's not just size. Even the shape of your buttons can subtly influence how people perceive them.
Hold on. Button shape. I never even thought about that.
Really?
Yeah. Tell me more.
Okay, so rounded corners tend to feel more approachable and friendly, while sharp corners can project a more modern, sleek vibe.
Okay.
Again, it comes down to matching your brand's personality.
This is so interesting. I'm realizing there's a lot more to CTA design than I initially thought. What about placement on the page? Should the Add to Cart button always be front and center?
Placement is key. It's about understanding how people naturally view web pages. Remember, above the fold. So imagine a newspaper folded in half, and that top half, the stuff you see immediately, that's your prime real estate. At least one compelling CTA should be visible without scrolling to capture those impulsive clicks.
Oh, that makes sense. You're catching those visitors who are ready to buy now.
Right.
But what about the folks who like to scroll and explore?
That's where strategic placement throughout the page comes in. You need to anticipate where people's eyes are going to land and put those CTAs right in their path.
Okay.
And you need to think mobile first these days.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Since people are usually scrolling with their thumb, having that main CTA near the bottom of the screen makes it super easy to tap.
There's so many things to consider. It's like a game of chess.
Right.
Figuring out where to position those buttons for maximum impact.
It is.
All right, so let's say we've nailed the design aspect.
Okay.
What about the words we put on those buttons? Does it really matter if we say add to cart or buy now or something completely different?
The words on your button are crucial.
Okay.
They are the final push that turns a looker into a buyer. You want action-oriented language that tells people exactly what to do. Get, grab, buy, start. These are your power words. And get this, the article cites studies that show that using first-person language can significantly increase conversions.
Wait, first person, like start my free trial instead of start your free trial.
Yeah.
Why would that make a difference?
It just feels more personal and engaging.
Okay.
You're inviting them to take ownership of the action. They found that first-person wording can increase conversions by up to 90%.
Wow, that's huge. So ditch the you and embrace the me. Got it.
Yeah.
Any other copywriting tips? Should we keep it short and sweet, or can we get a little more creative with the wording?
Definitely keep it concise.
Okay.
Ideally, 2 to 5 words max. People don't read buttons, they scan them.
Right.
You can always use subtext below for more details, but the button itself should be a quick, clear call to action.
Got it.
And here's another tip. Don't just tell them what to do, entice them with a benefit.
So instead of just a generic learn more, I could try something like claim my discount or get my free guide.
Exactly. You're highlighting the value they get from clicking that button.
Okay.
People love feeling like they're getting something special.
Okay, this is all making so much sense. We've got our buttons looking good and sounding
well.
persuasive.
Yeah.
But hold on, Shopify has its own built-in features for buttons, right? Do we even need to worry about all this design and copywriting stuff if Shopify's already got us covered?
So Shopify does provide a great foundation, but there's always room for optimization. Most themes have built-in editors for basic button customization, color-size text, no coding required. But for those who want more control, Shopify offers options for custom code.
Ooh, let's get a little technical for a second. What kind of code are we talking about?
You can use HTML and CSS to create completely custom buttons. Or for advanced functionality, use Liquid, which is Shopify's templating language.
Okay.
For example, you could show different CTAs to first-time visitors versus returning customers.
Okay, that's cool.
Oh.
I can see how personalized CTAs could really boost conversions.
Right.
What other technical wizardry can we do with CTAs?
You can get fancy with JavaScript. Imagine add to cart buttons with real-time stock updates showing how many items are left.
Wow.
Talk about creating urgency. And don't forget about Shopify's buy button. It lets you embed purchase links anywhere, your blog, social media, even external websites.
That opens up so many possibilities.
Yeah.
But with all these options, how do we know which CTA strategy to use on which page? A button that works on the home page might not be as effective on a product page, right?
You're absolutely right. Each page has a different purpose and requires a tailored CTA strategy.
Okay.
Let's break it down, starting with the home page.
Okay.
That's your first impression.
It's like the storefront of your online shop.
Exactly.
You want to make it inviting and eye-catching. What are some best practices for homepage CTAs?
The homepage is all about guiding visitors towards the actions you want them to take.
Okay.
The hero section, that big banner area at the top,
Yeah.
is perfect for showcasing bestsellers or promotions with a strong Shop Now CTA.
So keep it clean and focused. Don't overwhelm them with too many choices right off the bat.
Exactly. As you move down the page, you can highlight featured collections, each with its own Shop Now button. And don't forget about capturing those valuable email addresses. Hey, join our list. CTA near the top is a must.
Excellent point. Email marketing is still a powerhouse for driving sales.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about product pages? That's where the magic happens.
Right.
What should we focus on there?
On product pages, your add to cart button needs to be the star of the show.
Okay.
Big, bold, impossible to miss. And think about using color contrast to make it pop.
Got it. Make it super clear how to buy.
Yeah.
But once they've added an item to their cart, what happens on the cart page? Do we still need CTAs there?
Absolutely. The cart page is about reassurance and encouraging checkout. Your proceed to checkout button should be prominent,
Oh,
and maybe use a contrast in color to stand out.
yeah.
This is also a great spot for suggesting related items or offering a bundle and save option to increase order value.
So gently nudging them towards those irresistible extras. Okay, final step, the checkout page.
Yes.
What are our CTA priorities here?
The checkout page is about building trust and making the payment process as smooth as possible. Your complete purchase button should be the main focus, surrounded by trust indicators like secure payment logos and a clear return policy.
Makes sense. You want to eliminate any last-minute hesitation and reassure them they're in safe hands.
Right.
Okay, we've covered the basic CTA strategies for each page type, but I have a feeling you've got some even more powerful tactics up your sleeve.
I do.
Ooh, I'm all ears. Give me the good stuff.
Well, one incredibly effective tactic is creating a sense of urgency and scarcity.
Okay.
Think limited time offers countdown timers or even those little low stock alerts that just get people's hearts racing.
I've definitely been sucked in by those only 3 left in stock messages. It's like, gotta get it before it's gone.
Exactly. It taps into our fear of missing out
Yeah.
and encourages us to take action now. Another powerful tactic is personalization.
Okay, I'm intrigued. How can we personalize CTAs?
Imagine tailoring your CTAs based on who's visiting your store.
Okay.
Imagine a returning customer sees a "Welcome back, shop our new arrivals" button, while a first-time visitor gets a "First time here, get 10% off" offer. You can even tailor CTAs based on their past browsing or purchase history.
So if someone's been eyeing a specific product, we could hit them with a, still thinking about this, CTA with a picture of that product.
Precisely. It's about making the experience feel tailored to each individual customer.
Right.
And of course, we can't forget about mobile optimization.
Right. Mobile optimization is crucial these days. What are some mobile-specific CTA considerations?
Make those buttons extra large and easy to tap with a thumb. You might consider using a sticky CTA bar that follows the user as they scroll, ensuring that Buy Now button is always within reach.
Smart. Always keep that purchase just a thumb tap away.
Okay, so we've got all these amazing strategies, but how do we know what's actually working? We need to measure results, right?
Data is king. A/B testing is your best friend here. You can test different button colors, wording placement, you name it. Shopify has some great apps that can help you set up and run these tests with ease.
And what kind of metrics should we be tracking? Click-through rate, conversion rate, anything else?
Click-through rate, or CTR, is important because it tells you how many people are actually clicking on your button.
Right.
But ultimately, it's all about the conversion rate. How many of those clicks are turning into actual sales or signups, right? Clicks are great, but sales are even better.
Yeah.
What if we have a high CTR but a low conversion rate? What does that tell us?
That's where digging deeper comes in.
Okay.
A high bounce rate after changing a CTA might mean your new button is actually deterring people.
Oh.
Tools like heat maps and session recordings can show you if people are even noticing your CTA or if they're struggling to find it.
So it's not just about setting up tests, it's about analyzing the results and making adjustments based on what the data tells us.
Exactly.
It's an ongoing process of optimization.
Start by measuring your current performance, then test one change at a time.
Okay.
Did changing the button color increase conversions? Great. Now try tweaking the wording. It's a constant cycle of iteration and refinement.
Okay, this is all incredibly valuable information.
Good.
I'm feeling inspired to go back and revamp all my CTAs.
Awesome.
But before we get too carried away, do you have any real-world examples of how these strategies have actually worked for other Shopify stores?
Do?
Yeah, okay, awesome.
There was this apparel brand that was using the pretty standard add to bag button.
Yeah, add to bag always feels a bit generic to me.
They felt the same way, so they decided to try something a bit more playful and on brand and changed it to grab my style.
I love that. It's so much more fun and personality driven.
And guess what? They saw a 15% increase in clicks just from that one change.
That's amazing.
Huh.
It shows how even a seemingly small change can make a big impact.
For sure. Another case study highlighted a tech store that had a really boring gray Buy Now button buried below the fold.
Oh, no. Talk about getting lost in the shuffle. What did they do?
They made two key changes. They moved the button above the fold and gave it a vibrant green makeover.
Much more eye-catching. Did they see any improvements?
Their conversion rate skyrocketed by 20% in just 2 weeks.
Wow, that's a serious boost. It really highlights the importance of visual prominence and using color strategically.
Yep.
This has been an eye-opening deep dive into the world of CTAs. I can't wait to put all this knowledge to work in my own Shopify store. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive into the Conversion Bible, what's the one biggest takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
That optimizing your CTAs is not just some marketing theory. It's a powerful strategy that can significantly impact your bottom line.
Yeah.
Even small data-driven changes can make a huge difference.
Data-driven decisions for the win. Welcome back, CTA enthusiasts. We are knee-deep in our exploration of the Conversion Bible, and you know what that means?
That's that.
It's time to get real about those CTA blunders that can send your conversion rates plummeting.
Oh, yeah, those CTA crimes that just make marketers cringe.
Right.
It's shocking how many Shopify stores are making these simple mistakes and leaving money on the table.
Okay, spill the tea. What are some of the most common CTA design fails you've seen?
Well, let's start with the obvious poor visibility.
Right.
If your button blends into the background or the text is microscopic, it's basically invisible. And inconsistent button styles across your site,
Yeah.
that screams amateur hour.
It's like wearing a tuxedo with flip-flops.
Exactly.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So consistency and contrast are key for good CTA design.
Yes.
What about copywriting crimes? What kind of button text makes you want to facepalm?
Generic phrases like submit or click here are the worst offenders.
Right.
They lack personality and they don't tell the user what to expect.
It's like saying, here's a button, do something with it. I don't know what, just click it.
Exactly. And then there's the opposite problem button text that's way too long.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, brevity is your friend.
Yeah.
Keep it short, punchy, action-oriented.
Less is more.
Got it.
The article also mentions the importance of highlighting benefits.
Uh-huh.
Why is that so crucial for CTA copy?
People are more likely to click if they know what's in it for them.
Okay.
Are they getting a free download, a discount code? Make sure that value proposition is front and center.
Sell the sizzle, not
Yeah.
just the steak. Okay, so we've talked design and copywriting
Right.
blunder. What about strategic mistakes?
Yes.
Are there common CTA placement faux pas that drive you crazy?
One of the biggest is CTA overcrowding.
Okay.
Bombarding visitors with a million buttons on a single page is just overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's like being at a carnival with 100 different barkers all shouting at you at once.
Choice overload.
Yeah.
It's like trying to pick a Netflix show with too many options. You end up just closing the app and doing something else.
Exactly. Keep it simple and focused.
Okay.
Decide on the one main action you want visitors to take on that page and make that your hero CTA.
Prioritize. Got it.
Mm.
What about pushing for the sale too soon?
Uh-huh.
Can that backfire when it comes to CTA placement?
It absolutely can.
Okay.
Don't hit them with a buy now button before they've even had a chance to explore your brand or understand the value of your products.
Yeah.
It's like proposing on the first date.
Whoa, take it slow. Build the relationship first.
Ah.
I bet you've seen some real head-scratcher moments when it comes to Shopify stores and their CTAs.
Oh, I have a whole collection of CTA horror stories. But you know what's even scarier than a poorly designed button?
What's that?
It's not testing and analyzing your results.
Oh, right.
The data doesn't lie.
Right.
A/B testing is crucial for figuring out what works and what doesn't.
But beyond testing, what are some of the emerging trends that are shaping the future of CTAs? The article hinted at some pretty exciting developments.
Get ready for the rise of AI-powered CTAs.
Oh, wow.
Imagine tools that can personalize buttons based on user data, predict what will resonate best, and even adjust offers in real time.
Wait, hold up. Real-time personalization based on my behavior.
Yeah.
That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It's pretty mind-blowing, and it goes beyond just text and colors.
Okay.
We're talking about interactive and animated CTAs that make clearing more engaging and delightful.
Okay.
Imagine micro-interactions that add subtle animations on hover or progressive buttons that evolve as the user scrolls.
We're talking about CTAs that are not only effective, but also visually appealing and fun to interact with.
Exactly. It's about creating an experience that delights your customers and encourages them to take action.
This has been a fascinating deep dive into the world of CTA optimization. We've covered everything from design and copywriting basics to those cutting-edge AI-powered features that are about to change the game.
Yeah, it's an exciting time.
What's the one key takeaway you want to leave our listeners with?
Don't underestimate the power of a well-crafted CTA. It's not just a button. It's a strategic tool that can have a massive impact on your Shopify store's success.
Okay.
Even small data-driven changes can make a huge difference.
All right, Shopify superstars. Get out there and start optimizing those CTAs. But before you do, we have a question for you.
What's that?
Knowing what you know now, what's the one CTA mistake you're going to fix on your Shopify store today? Think about it.
Yeah, think about it.
Even a small tweak can make a world of difference.
And don't forget, if you want to run smarter discount campaigns and really take your conversions to the next level, check out Growth Suite on the Shopify App Store.
Yeah, you can test it for free and see the difference it can make for your conversions. Welcome back to Conversion Bible. We've been breaking down the Conversion Bible's article on Shopify CTA optimization. You know what always gets me pumped?
What's that?
Hearing real-world success stories.
It's inspiring to see how these strategies translate into actual results for Shopify businesses.
Totally. It's proof that this stuff isn't just theory. It's about making those cash registers sing. The article features some case studies, right?
Yes, it does, and some of them are pretty impressive. For instance, there's this apparel brand that was using the typical add to bag button.
Yeah, add to bag always feels a bit generic to me.
They felt the same way. So they decided to spice things up a bit, and they changed the button text to grab my style.
Oh, I like that. Much more personality, right? In
Yep.
line with a fashion brand.
Exactly. And guess what? They saw a 15% increase in clicks just from that one tweak.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It shows how even a seemingly small change can make a big impact.
Absolutely. Another case study highlighted a tech store that had their Buy Now button buried below the fold in a dull gray color.
Oh no, talk about getting lost in the shuffle. What did they do?
Well, they made two key changes. They moved the button above the fold, and they gave it a vibrant green makeover.
Okay.
Suddenly, it was impossible to miss.
That's what I call a visual upgrade. Did it pay off?
Big time. Their conversion rate shot up by 20% in just 2 weeks.
Wow, that's a huge boost. It really highlights the importance of visual prominence and using color strategically.
It's about making that CTA stand out and practically beg to be clicked.
I love it. This has been such an insightful deep dive. But I'm curious, what about the bigger picture? We've talked a lot about tactics, but what are some of the underlying principles that can guide our CTA strategy no matter what industry we're in or what kind of products we sell?
Well, at the heart of it, it's about understanding your audience and what motivates them.
Right. It's not about what we think looks good or sounds clever. It's about speaking directly to our ideal customer.
Exactly. What are their needs, their pain points? What language resonates with them? Once you have a clear understanding of your target audience, you can start crafting CTAs that truly speak to their desires.
It's all about empathy and putting ourselves in our customers' shoes.
Absolutely. And once you've nailed down, your audience clarity is paramount.
Okay.
Your button text should be concise, action-oriented, and leave absolutely no room for ambiguity.
So no more vague submit buttons.
Yeah, right.
We need to tell people exactly what will happen when they click.
Precisely. And don't be afraid to experiment. A/B testing is your best friend when it comes to finding what works best for your specific audience and product offerings.
Testing is key. Never stop optimizing and refining your approach based on the data.
And as we move forward, I think it's important to remember that online shopping is becoming more and more about creating an experience, not just completing a transaction.
Oh, I love that. It's not just about pushing people to buy. It's about making the entire journey enjoyable and engaging.
Exactly. Inject some personality into your CTAs. Play around with interactive elements. Explore those gamification tactics we talked about. Make it fun for your customers.
I'm feeling so inspired to go back and make some changes to my own store. So for all our Shopify entrepreneurs out there, what's one small CTA tweak you can implement today to start seeing better results?
Take a look at your most important CTAs. Are they clear, compelling, and impossible to ignore? If not, it's time for a makeover.
All right, folks, that's it for this episode of Conversion Bible. We've uncovered some incredibly powerful strategies for optimizing your CTAs and boosting those conversions. Now it's your turn to put this knowledge into action.
And remember, if you're looking for a powerful tool to help you run smart discount campaigns on your Shopify store, check out Growth Suite on the Shopify App Store.
This podcast was powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you to run smart discount campaigns on your store. Test it for free on your Shopify store. Just land on the Shopify App Store now and test it for free. That's a wrap on our deep dive into the Conversion Bible. Until next time, happy converting.